Hey everybody, CVH here, and today we're going to be doing a different kind of video. This is definitely going to be a far away from the normal strategy and gameplay content for Elder Scrolls Legends, but I thought I'd take today's video and talk about something a bit more on the artistic side of things, and that's premium cards. Specifically, my favorite premium card art in every single color, every single attribute in Legends. I wanted to talk about this because a lot of people ask me what my favorite premium cards are in the game. I can understand if you are totally uninterested in this topic and you want to skip the video, that's totally fine, but I did want to talk about it. A lot of people see me play premium cards a lot on stream. I'm at the point right now where I've started to actually get a few full competitive decks that are premium after I started collecting them in earnest about a year ago after I got to a full normal collection. And that's just something that happened over time. I spent a good bit of money on the game when I first got into it, and again when Heroes of Skyrim released, and I've played a ton of Arena over the course of the last 13 months or so. So I've seen a lot of premium cards. A lot of the art in this game has come under fire, especially the premium art specifically, and there are a lot of comparisons made between this game's premium cards and other cards with premium art from other card games like Hearthstone and the up-and-coming Gwent, which has pretty amazing premium card animations, if I do say so myself. They are, very animated, a lot of movement going on in the cards, whereas in this game they're a bit more understated, and a lot of the premium cards have effects that then make them look nice. Now, they have updated a lot of the premium card art in the past. I definitely think they've done a better job overall in Heroes of Skyrim and Fall of the Dark Brotherhood with the premium cards than in the core set. A lot of the core set cards are the ones that have seen some updates to the premium copies, and I hope they do continue doing that. I think it's been very successful so far, and I'm really looking forward to seeing where they take premium cards in the future. So I'll just be going through attribute by attribute and letting you guys know what my favorites are, just cards that I've really enjoyed looking at basically over the last 13 months of playing Legends, and I'd love to hear your thoughts as well. Let me know what you think about the cards that I've presented, and let me know what your favorite premium card is in the comments. I would love to hear what you guys think makes a good premium card. But for starters, my pick for red strength is Skaven Pyromancer. This card hasn't seen any updates, but I just always thought it was one of the nicer looking premiums. It's kind of understated, but it has a really nice fire effect. They seem to do fire effects and snow effects really well in Legends, and this card just, it just is a good looking card. It's not doing too much, just really pleasant. And Skaven Pyromancer, this is one of the first commons that I was actually making premium when I first started collecting them. And, only 200 soul gems for a premium cop, and it's a really good deal in this game. So when I first started making the premiums, I started going after the commons that I saw in a lot of decks and going after the ones that were played in the majority of decks in their color. And Skaven Pyromancer has seen a ton of play basically throughout all metas in the past 13 months, and I was playing a lot of mid-range Archer back then, so this is definitely one of the first places I went, and I really enjoyed how the card looks the entire time. It even competes with a lot of the cards from Heroes of Skyrim and Fall of the Dark Brotherhood. Now, in blue, I don't think anyone's going to be too surprised to hear my answer. I've answered this a couple times on stream, and I think this might be, if not just my favorite, at least in the running for my favorite premium cards in the game, and that is Encano. Recently released in Heroes of Skyrim, this was the first card I actually created with my soul gems after the set's release. And I did get the Encano deck, I think. Well, did I get the Encano deck? I don't even know, but it doesn't even matter. I could have gotten the Encano deck, but I chose instead to just drop 4,800 soul gems on the premium Encano as my first card to soul summon in the expansion, even before I had gotten all 3 copies of some legendaries that I needed their regular forms of. I had the soul gems, and I knew just based on the power level of this card and how good it was going to be that I would want the premium copy, since I was trying to, get copies of legendaries premium that I would use in a lot of different decks of their attribute. And obviously Encano is one of the most played legendaries in Intelligence. Only need 1 copy of it, and as it turns out, it looks fantastic. In my opinion, this art is great. Again, it's not doing too much. We can see that the animations aren't really there, but there are the effects. We got the fog effect going on. I think these lightning effects are just really well implemented. Not exactly sure what he's doing in it, but it doesn't really matter. In my opinion, one of the best looking premium cards, if not the best in the game. Now in Willpower, we're going to go back to an old favorite, which I've talked about many times in the channel for gameplay-related reasons, and that is Manta Cora. I also think this card deserves a lot of mention for its premium card art. And what I like a lot about this card, besides the fact that it just looks nice, is that it completely sort of changes the color scheme of the regular. The regular is kind of, I don't want to say dingy, but it's purple, it's sort of, grayscale almost, but then you get to the premium, and it really sort of livens up the card. It's almost like a lightning effect. It's not really lightning, it's the aura effect you see in a lot of cards, but I think this one's really well done. It doesn't look too fake or cheesy. Cards like Giant Snake, I get a lot of comments when I'm playing them on stream. The premium copies look kind of cheesy and just out of place, but I think Manta Cora's aura effect does a really good job of sort of keeping within the theme and just looking cool. This is a cool looking card card, doesn't really look out of place at all. And of course, Manta Cora is a card that I have played a ton of over the past 13 months, so one of my favorite cards to have premium for sure. Agility also has a lot of nice premium arts, but I'm going to also take it old school here and talk about Murkwater Witch. Now, a lot of cards, like I mentioned, have seen, the core set cards, have seen increased premium art over time. They've, gone back and fixed some of them up a little bit. Some of them have not. I'd like to talk about Thieves Guild Recruit and Wardcrafter. There are a few that really deserve a lot better premium art than they currently have based on how played they are. But Murkwater Witch, again, was one of the first premium rares that I made when I first started collecting premiums. Was played in a lot of mid-range Archer and Ram Scout decks about a year ago, and this is one of those cards that just always looked really, really good. A lot of people were talking about how this was maybe the best premium card or one of them in the game when it was just the core set, and I do think that's still true today. It's just an amazing looking card. This is one of those cards that gives me hope for the future of premium cards, despite the fact that some of them, like the Thieves Guild Recruit, aren't fantastic. Murkwater Witch really shows what they're capable of doing with these kind of effects. It's kind of a shame that Murkwater Witch doesn't see quite as much play nowadays as it used to, but still very prominent in a lot of Ram Scout decks, and even some other Archer decks and Assassin lists every now and then. Murkwater Witch, at least it's a fantastic looking card. Now, Endurance has a lot of great ones, definitely, especially with the recent Heroes of Skyrim. I'd like to shout out Skeletal Dragon for looking especially fantastic. I need to go ahead and make my set of those, I think, but Haunting Spirit has always been one of my all-time favorites. I've played a lot of mid-range Sorcerer and a lot of other mid-range decks that use Endurance, and those typically do play Haunting Spirits, and Haunting Spirits just always looked really, really sick. Again, compare it to the normal. It doesn't look bad. It's not bad card art at all, but then this one it's so bright, and it just looks really nice compared to the normal one. I can't really describe it better than that. It's hard to really talk too much about the animations. As you can see on the card, barely anything's moving at all. In fact, one could make the case that more should be moving, but we can see a little bit of a wind effect going on this cloth. But besides that, it's just sort of the aura effect in the background, and the implementation of it doesn't look out of place at all. Always been one of the best looking premiums to me. The dual attribute cards are typically a little bit weaker as far as premiums go. There are some exceptions. I'm talking mainly about the dual attribute legendaries. I'd like to give a special shout out to a few that I definitely think need some improvements. Gortwog's kind of up there. Iron, I haven't even made this one yet. Look at that. Should be a lot better based on how good the card is. Queen Bear and Zaya, again, not a whole lot going on that card. Good old High King Emmerich, I love this card so much, but boy do I wish there was anything really going on besides that shimmering of light on the premium card there. But I do have one in mind for my favorite dual attribute card, and it actually might be a bit surprising. This is going to be a very new card, and that is going to be Ulfric's Housecarl. I don't know, I think this card just really overperformed. I was excited to see how good the premium looked, and then I had to test it out and see if the card was actually good. Turns out the card was actually good. I think I did make a tweet about that. The first thing I talked about in Ulfric's Housecarl on Twitter was, wow, the premium art looks really nice. I saw it in the collection manager. Hope the card lives up to the hype so I can actually justify making a set of them. And I have justified making a set of them. Really nice looking card. There are a couple others too. I was really back and forth between the Ulfric's Housecarl and Edict of Azura, but I chose the Ulfric's Housecarl because I think the premium is a bit more active, for lack of a better word. I do think this card is quite beautiful, but I also just really am a fan of the card art in general of Edict of Azura, so I'm probably biased there. But definitely a good amount of good premiums in the dual attribute cards, and a lot that could still use a lot more work. And finally, we move on to neutral, and what other card can we choose but Enraged Mudcrab? I'm just kidding. There's actually a much more obvious choice on the other end of the spectrum, and that is Odahviing. We've had to choose Odahviing for the final cool premium art, and this was actually the first premium legendary that I created with my soul gems. It was actually the first legendary I soul summoned a long time ago when I was first starting to spend my soul gems and build tier 1 decks, because I knew I wanted to play a lot of slow control decks like Control Mage. And when I started moving into premium legendaries, I think this was one of the premiums that was actually buffed over time. I don't remember what the old Odahviing premium art looked like, but I don't remember people talking about it. And then one day there was a patch that came out, I don't remember exactly when, but all of a sudden Odahviing looked just insane. The fire effects on this card are probably among, if not just the nicest in all of Legends. I think this is truly what premium cards should aspire to, so it's fitting we're talking about it last, and it's also fitting that it's probably the last card a lot of people see when they're playing on the ladder and they're trying to, get that aggressive push going. Odahviing comes down with those crazy fire effects, and that probably leads to a concession. But those are just my opinions. I'd love to hear what premium cards you like in this game. I know it's sort of a fluff topic, but I always, I've really enjoyed the premium cards. When I first started playing Legends, I didn't think I'd care about them too much, never really try to collect them. But then, after getting a full collection, it just sort of started happening, and then you learn to appreciate them a lot more. So I'd love to hear which ones you guys appreciate. These are some of my picks. There's a lot more I enjoy. I definitely hope they continue to improve upon them. I think premium card art is one of those cosmetic tools that can really attract people to the game and encourage them to spend more money than they would traditionally spend, encourage people to buy packs after they've gotten all the decks they want to build. Why not try to collect really cool looking premium cards? So I do hope they continue to improve them in the future and release sweet new ones as well. That's it for me. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Again, love to hear your thoughts in the comments, but feel free to leave a like if you've enjoyed. Stay subscribed for more Legends content. Follow my stream in the description, and I'll see you guys next time.